So it's a little bit of a slow news week this week, but don't worry, we still have plenty of gaming goodness to cover, so be sure to stick around. In the meantime, just give me a second to go get the news and I'll be right back. Oh hey, it's you! Welcome to Free to Play, your weekly gaming news show delivered to you straight from the secret place where the PS5 and Xbox Series X are kept. I'm your host, Charlie K, and in this week's episode we cover Epic Games suing mobile phone manufacturers Apple and Google. A beloved video game character returns from the dark. We know the release date to the Xbox Series X. And is there a brand new Xbox on the way already? All this and so much more in this week's episode of Free to Play. But before we begin, if you're new here and you love gaming content as much as we love destroying things in Rainbow Six Siege, then why not click on the subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a single video. For our first bit of news for this week, the brand new Atari Console pre-orders went live last week with a hefty price tag of 849 Aussie dollars. Now, before you rant and rave in the comment section, it's important to know that the Atari Console is not just a console that emulates old Atari games. It also works as a fully fledged PC that comes with a joystick and a modern controller. The Atari VCS console will have an AMD Ryzen processor and will have Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, as well as being capable of streaming 4K HDR content. Although it's technically a PC, it won't be powerful enough to play new PC game releases, but it will be powerful enough to play retro games and stream video content. Well, it looks like we might be getting a Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remaster. And no, unfortunately it's not the original Hot Pursuit. Aww. It's a remaster of the 2010 remake that appeared on the PS3, Xbox 360, and yes, even the Nintendo Wii. The game was listed on the Amazon UK website as well as the New Zealand video game retailer Mighty Apes website. The release date was mentioned with November 13th as the release date. Speaking of games from the past, Ubisoft has revealed a gaming icon that we haven't seen in quite some time. That's right, Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell is back. But just not in the way you would expect. Sam Fisher is back as an operator in Rainbow Six Siege. Wait, what? Well, the new DLC releasing for Rainbow Six Siege is called Shadow Legacy and is heavily based on stealth. Sam Fisher will be going under the alias Zero and has a special breaching device called the Hard Breacher that breaches a wall in a circular motion. His main gadget will be a set of cameras you can shoot on a wall and zap your enemies from a distance. Zero will be joined by another operator called a Roomie, who can break walls with a cybernetic hand and has a motion sensor gadget that covers entrances. The new DLC should drop within the next week. In an interesting turn of events, Fortnite game creators Epic Games is suing both Apple and Google after their mobile versions of the smash hit game Fortnite was removed from the App Store and the Google Play Store. Apple and Google have removed Fortnite from their respective stores after they found that Epic Games had violated their terms of service when Epic Games introduced a mechanic to the game that allowed players to pay Epic Games directly rather than be charged fees for purchasing V-Bucks through the Play Store or the App Store. According to Google and Apple, any changes to apps must be verified via Google and Apple first. But Epic Games has now since filed a lawsuit against Apple and Google, stating that both Apple and Google charge excessive fees as high as 30% for digital currency, forcing players to pay more so that Google and Apple can make more money off digital currency. The head of Epic Games, Tim Sweeney, added, "At the most basic level, we're fighting for the freedom of people who bought smartphones to install apps from sources of their choosing, the freedom for creators of apps to distribute them as they choose, and the freedom of both groups to do business directly." But what do you think? Is it a good or a bad thing that Epic Games is fighting big corporations such as Google or Apple? Sound off in the comment section below. In other news, it looks like the pricing of the brand new Xbox Series X has been revealed after a recent promotion for Halo Infinite from Monster Energy Drinks has appeared online. When reading through the fine print of the promotion, Monster confirms that the total prize pool is worth up to $119,998 and with 200 prizes in total. But if the math is correct, then the console was worth about $599 USD, which is about 835 Australian dollars at the time of this recording. Also, a tweet from The Verge's Tom Warren shows that a box of new controllers have arrived with a strict embargo sticker stating they are not to be opened until November 6th. Could this be the release date for the Xbox Series X console? Speaking of Xboxes, it looks like we might be getting a brand new console from Microsoft that isn't the Xbox Series X. Brand new controllers have made it into the wild, and on the back of these new controllers, it states they are compatible with the Xbox Series X, Series S, Xbox One, iOS, Android, and Windows 10. It has long been rumoured that a lower end model of the Xbox Series X, codenamed Lockhart, has been in the works for quite some time. This new console is rumoured to have 7.5GB of RAM, an underclocked CPU, and can muster up to about 4 teraflops of GPU performance. There is an Xbox event scheduled for later in the month, so we might see some new details there. And that is all for this week's episode, but before we go, be sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more gaming content every single week. I'm your host, Charlie K, Gamers Unite! And we will see you on the next level.